Welcome everyone to this week's episode of the B Show podcast, where the B stands for Brr, it's cold outside. I think the high today is what, like -2?
Yes, something like that.
And the low is about -12, with the wind chill being -40.
It's cold here in the Midwest.
It's cold. The B stands for Brr this week. It's been a wild week in the world of wrestling. Can't say that 3 times fast. Wild week in the world of wrestling.
World Wrestling Entertainment.
Between the Royal Rumble, between Raw and SmackDown,
and NXT.
NXT, a lot of news coming out of like outside of TV this week. So a lot going on, a lot to talk about. So let's hop to it.
Woo! All right. Well, what do you want to talk about first?
Probably Royal Rumble, right?
Yeah, I mean that'd be logical.
About the results, our thoughts.
Yeah. So we'll start with the pre-show. We'll just kind of go over a little bit. Rude and Gable defeated Akam and Dawson
in a very impromptu, unnecessary match.
Yeah, very impromptu, very unnecessary. And wasn't it that if Akam and Dawson won, they would get like a tag team match, like of their with their team, respective team,
which kind of was random and made no sense.
Yeah, and Rude and Gable won, so it doesn't even matter.
It made less sense of them losing, and it made even less sense with what happened on Raw the next night. So I have no idea.
Whatever. Then with an upset, I would say Nakamura defeated Rusev.
A lot of upsets.
No one probably saw that coming.
A lot of upsets in that world this week.
Yeah, for real. In the United States Championship picture. Yeah. So I didn't see this one coming. It genuinely shocked me.
It shocked me, but not in a good way.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
As soon as Lana went down, I was like, oh, God, here we go.
Yeah, but it did lead to something cool that happened.
It paid off.
Yeah. And then after, Murphy beat Kalisto, Hideo Itami, and who was the other one?
Akira Tozawa.
Tozawa, that's who it was. Yeah, I couldn't remember it last night when I was writing these notes, and I just didn't think about looking it up. Which I missed this match. Was it good? I mean, I'm sure it was.
It was pretty good. It felt like a lot of it was just like roll up, super kick, roll up, super kick, roll up, super kick. But otherwise, it was a solid match.
Good. I mean, that's what you'd expect from these 4 guys. They're all talented, and unfortunately, Hideo Itami's no longer with us. He didn't die, but he.
I guess he asked for his release and was granted it pretty mutually.
Yeah,
I guess.
Which that's good. Hopefully, I don't know what his next step in his career.
He's 37? I think I saw today. He's 37 years old. So he's had quite a few injuries in NXT and all that. So I know he's kind of probably in the waning points of his career, kind of towards the end. Mm-hmm. Maybe he'll go back to. I think he was in Noah in Japan. Maybe he'll go back there. Maybe he'll have a short run in AEW. Mm-hmm. Maybe he'll just retire altogether. Impact. Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. Well,
I think the both of us wish him all the best because there's a lot that he can do that he didn't get to show.
Yeah.
In WWE.
Yeah. If he wouldn't have gotten injured like his first time around, I think he would have been the one to defeat to defeat Kevin Owens in Japan.
It was one of those things where you really can't blame anyone. It's just poor luck with the injuries, and then he kind of got lost in the shuffle of all the big NXT classes that came through right after him. Mm-hmm.
But well, I guess we'll get on to the main show. So we start off hot with Asuka defeated Becky Lynch to retain her SmackDown Women's Championship.
By submission, too.
By submission, yeah. I didn't think
it wasn't the Asuka lock, and it wasn't like stealing a finisher type of thing. It was a brand new move from Asuka that we hadn't seen before.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty
cool. Like
a
headlock, cattle mutilation kind of thing. Yeah. Very interesting. Interesting that she tapped out to that.
Yeah, I didn't think they would have her tap out, but
I thought if anything she would lose by like getting knocked unconscious or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Like in the vein of like a Stone Cold type of character. Mm-hmm. But instead she tapped clean. It made Asuka look great, and Becky obviously did not suffer from it at all.
Right.
Recovered very quickly.
Yeah, she put up a fight, and that's all you can ask for. Mm-hmm. I think it's what most people figured. I mean, some people probably thought Becky was going to win, but.
Yeah.
Well, that leads to what happened later. Then next, the best tag team in the world defeated the Bar to gain the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Now, Nick, last week on the podcast, you thought I was dumb for predicting them.
I knew. I don't think it's any less dumb now than it was then.
Right, but I'm just I knew that this was part of their storyline, that they had to win the championships, and then eventually they're going to lose them, and that's when they're going to
the breakup.
Breakup. Yeah. Yeah, and hopefully it does lead to Miz, using him like you did say. Like, I believe he is using him. It's just, there's going to be a lot more steps to it, and then instead of just losing it right off the bat. So, they might even retain at Elimination Chamber against the Usos.
They might.
And then lose it at Fastlane or something, or maybe on a SmackDown.
It really sucks that there's 2 pay-per-views between the Rumble and WrestleMania. Yeah. Because there's way too much going on. I'd rather that they build one long story across the 2 or 3 months between the shows instead of have multiple stories culminate before.
Yeah.
In between.
I agree. So, but I know you never know.
So
Hopefully,
I honestly have no idea where this is going with Shane and Miz. I think that it's possible it could be one of those things where Miz expects a world championship opportunity, doesn't get one, and turns on Shane, or maybe he gets an opportunity and then he loses and blames Shane or something, or maybe Shane would turn heel. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems like they've been trying to avoid having authority figures in storylines, so it's bizarre that Miz and Shane are continuing this, despite like Triple H is kind of not really a heel anymore. Stephanie isn't on TV anymore, and when Vince shows up, he's obviously just Vince.
Right.
People will cheer him,
right,
or they'll boo him depending on what he says and does. So I'm not really sure. I have no idea how to call this one, where it's going to go.
Me neither, but I guess that's a good thing about weekly television. We can figure it out.
It's a good thing and a bad thing.
Good thing and a bad thing, you're right. So next we have Ronda defeating Sasha Banks to retain her Raw Women's Championship, which I think this was one of the better matches on the show.
I missed it because I was making our what do you call it? Our picks.
Your picks. Yeah.
For the Rumble, because we all drew numbers out of a hat and we all got a number and we put in $1 for the big betting pool, and I was the one who was making all the numbers. So I missed both the SmackDown Tag Team match and I missed the Raw Women's Championship match.
That did take a while.
So I'll have to go back and watch that and see how it was. I heard it was great, as you said.
Yeah, it was really good.
And it ended with Ronda hitting the Piper's Pit on Sasha, correct?
Yeah, yep. It was good, and I hope and Sasha looked great in it. I think it was probably Ronda's best match she's had so far.
Yeah.
I think, even though I thought she wasn't going to top Charlotte's match, just I don't know, I really liked that match, but maybe because of the storytelling. But, the storytelling was really good in this match, and Sasha really put up a fight, and it was just really good character work from the both of them. So then we get to the Royal Rumble. The women's Royal Rumble was first, and first people that came out were Lacey Evans, and number 2 was who was number 2?
Number 2?
It
was another blonde.
Oh yeah, was it?
Natalia.
Well, it was Natalia. I was thinking it was.
The voice in my head just told me it was Natalia.
So, I think it just kind of popped up in my head.
Yeah. I think that says a lot about what they see in Lacey.
Yeah,
as both, because she cut a promo too before she even wrestled.
Yeah.
So I think it says a lot about where they view her as kind of the next big thing in the women's division. Which she wasn't on TV this week after that Rumble, but she was mentioned on Raw as being the number 1 entrant, and she had a great showing in the Rumble. She eliminated a couple of people, I believe.
She lasted quite a while.
She put up a fight against Charlotte and I think the Iconics and Natalia, and had a pretty solid promo. She was kind of rough around the edges at the beginning of the Rumble. She seemed nervous. She kind of botched a few spots there.
Yeah.
But she recovered about halfway through her time in the Rumble.
Right.
I'm very excited to see where she goes.
Me too, and I think the whole overall Rumble was pretty good.
It's a great Rumble.
I kind of like I haven't watched them back. I usually do, but I just haven't had time to yet. From what I remember, I think the women's Rumble was better than the men's Rumble for me.
It was better and longer.
Yeah, it was longer. It was a lot longer. I think they were just really rushed on the men's Rumble.
Yeah, I agree with
because
that.
They had 10 matches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they had 10 matches. That's crazy for a Royal Rumble.
The whole show lasted till almost midnight. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. It didn't need to be that long. They could have
sure didn't.
They could have taken out some things, but that's all right. But Lana comes in at number 21, I think 22.
I think
28.
28. Yeah,
right.
It was more towards the end.
Yeah, it was towards the end. I thought it was more towards. Anyways, and she cannot walk because of what the injury that she suffered. Yeah, she can't take bumps all of a sudden, I guess. From the pre-show, and so she was trying to walk, and then eventually, once number 30 hit, it was Carmella. Then eventually, Becky comes out, asks Finlay like, "Yo, put me in the match, dog." And
I think it's what she said exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's the exact quote.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, come on, dog." And then Finn was like, "All right, then."
He said, "Get out there."
The
crowd popped, and then her music hit, and it was that was a really, really cool career-defining moment, I think, for Becky Lynch.
Yeah, and I honestly didn't think they were gonna do it, and
I didn't either.
She won the match. She eliminated Charlotte, and I really thought they weren't gonna do it because I knew I kind of had a feeling Rollins was gonna win it, so they weren't gonna do it too, happy moments, but that's maybe they're giving us a little bit extra for the 4 years of Roman Reigns.
Yeah, it's about time.
Honestly, it's about time, but. Still, I really enjoyed the Rumble. There weren't many. Were there any like legends in the match?
No, there was not.
No,
the only
good.
legend in the whole weekend was Jeff Jarrett.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I like that. They had a lot of NXT people. Rhea Ripley was a big standout. I saw people that weren't even like big, like in the
Ripley
NXT, commenting about it.
Io Shirai, Casey, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, was in there.
Yeah, she was really good. She did her Kofi spot.
She had 2 Kofi spots. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. Hopefully she becomes a star. I know she's green right now, but
did you see the video of her in Ricochet backstage? It was really, really cool. It was after she had her moment in the Rumble. She came backstage, and Ricochet was standing there, and he was like crying to her, and he was saying that like the whole time, like he's watching the Rumble, and he knew that her spot was coming up soon. His heart started beating real fast, and whenever she had all her spots, he was just super, super excited but nervous and proud of her, and he was like in tears.
Oh, that's so sweet.
And she was hugging him, and it was just a really, really nice moment to see.
Sweet. That's sweet. But yeah, so everyone shined. I think no one really looked bad in this. It was even funny. Vega's spot was pretty funny.
That was
her under the ring, and then all of a sudden Hornswoggle came out.
I guess that's 2 legends in the weekend if you count Hornswoggle.
Yeah, I really thought he was going to be in the men's Rumble, so I'm glad that's what they did.
That was really well done.
Yeah, it was well done, and it was funny.
And if anyone had a bad showing, it was Liv Morgan because she went in and out real fast.
In and out.
But even then,
well, she kind of recovered because the Riot Squad came out and started attacking people.
The Riot Squad did have a good showing.
Yeah, and so Becky wins. She's gonna challenge Ronda Rousey for the Raw.
Who was the final 4? It was Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Charlotte,
and Bailey.
Yeah, it was Bailey.
Yeah, I'm glad that voice is in our head.
Yeah, I have like a fact checker in my brain right now.
But yeah, so it was a good Final 4. I think that was a perfect Final 4 actually. Nia getting heat like she always does.
She got good heat because she shoved Becky off the steps there at the end instead of letting her re-enter the match, and that was kind of a good way to keep kind of the heat on Nia and kind of build up Becky as like, can she actually do this? Is this really going to happen? We don't know. Sure enough, she did, and she eliminated Charlotte last. When it came down to those 2, I thought it would at least be a tie, if not Charlotte winning.
Exactly.
And when Becky took the win, I was flabbergasted.
I was too, and I really enjoyed it. I was very surprised that Becky won, but that's cool. I'm glad for her. I'm happy for her. And hopefully, the WrestleMania match is going to be a banger. Hopefully, it's the main event. Because there's no other guys that could possibly main event.
Yeah. You could put Seth and Brock in there, but it'll be kind of like last year's where the whole crowd expects Roman/Seth to win.
Yeah.
And then if they do or they don't, the crowd's kind of expecting nothing.
Right.
Honestly.
So next up we have Daniel Bryan. He beats AJ Styles to retain the WWE Championship with the help of Rowan, which is very unexpected.
Well, when he first got, we thought he was just like just wanted to watch the match a little closer because he just came out and just kind of stared at him from nearby. That was really. It stinks that match had to follow the Women's Rumble because the Women's Rumble was so hot, and then it kind of had to slow down to build up this match, and I think that kind of suffered because of it. The crowd was exhausted from Becky winning that match.
Yeah, and what a match had to do it, and I think this was the right match for it to be.
Especially considering the finish, I think it's fine that it had a screwy finish.
Yeah, it's okay. It continues that feud a little bit. I know they don't do automatic rematch clauses anymore.
Yeah.
But at least AJ now has a shot at the Elimination Chamber, which we will talk about later.
And I'm excited with the pairing of Rowan and him because I don't feel like Daniel Bryan would just want to grab somebody like that unless he really enjoyed their work or unless he likes them backstage
or he knows what they could do.
We know that he's worked with Rowan previously as a part of the Wyatt family and when he was feuding with them, so I think this says a lot about Rowan's future and also with the future of booking this character as this cult leader vegan kind of, I don't know,
henchman. Yeah,
very interesting.
Yeah, it'll be very cool to see what they do with it. So next up, we have Lesnar defeating Finn, which I thought was a great match as well.
Great match.
It really helped. Finn didn't look weak at all. Finn had him beat, kind of.
Let me ask you, because I've seen both opinions on this. Was this better, worse, or about the same as Brock versus Daniel Bryan at Survivor Series? In your opinion?
In my opinion, well, I liked the story of Daniel Bryan because at first we thought, Like, this is going to be the same old match.
He's going to break his neck.
He's going to break his neck. Yeah, people, we were worried. And then it got hot, you know. He, like, started coming back, and that's what I really liked about that one. This match was, like, completely different. Finn started off hot. He got him. He did his, like, 3 dives over the top rope. It was just intense,
and it was so cool to see Brock. He was actually selling his midsection instead of his head or his leg or whatever. He was actually selling like his disease that he has that can cause him to lose matches like that. So it had us kind of on edge, thinking that this could be it. This could be the match that he loses to Finn because of his disease. But with that said, I do think, despite the match with Finn being a title match, I felt like the Daniel Bryan match had higher stakes in a way because of Daniel Bryan's history with injuries, and then also just he hadn't been established as a top guy yet because he just won the belt from AJ like the week before.
We didn't know what he
couldn't do, and he sold Brock's stuff like crazy. Made it look like he was dead, and then Brock sold his stuff really well too. We almost thought that Brock was going to tap out at one point to Daniel Bryan, so I think that they had the better match, but that take nothing away from the match against Finn, because that was a great match too.
I thought it was great how he did the coup de grace and then kicked out, but then Lesnar was worried, so he grabbed him and put him
him by the arm, Kimura lock, and he raised his head and bulged his eyes out and screamed real fast.
Yeah, and made Finn tap, which I think made Finn look great because he had him, he had him beat, and then he got caught up. So then after match the post match beatdown, which made me think that they're going to do more with it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, since they're going with Seth and Finn, or Seth and Lesnar.
I think that this is the beginning of building up Finn to be like a legitimate threat against larger guys, but I don't think it's against Brock though.
Yeah, I think you're right. Which I'm pretty excited to see what's next, because I know now he has that feud with Bobby.
He sure
I guess
does.
So that'll be fun. So next up we have finally the men's Royal Rumble. The first one was Elias. Number 2 was JEFFRRETT.
I think this was a really lame start to the Rumble.
Yeah.
I think it only got better from there. It just, I don't know. I've never been a big Jeff Jarrett guy.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't hate the gimmick. I like the goofy country singer that thinks he's all that, but I don't think it works as a face. So putting him against Elias and turning Elias heel for the sake of Jeff Jarrett being a face, I think is kind of silly.
I agree.
If it results in Jeff Jarrett getting a guitar to his back every week, then by God, let's do it. But I don't hate Elias as a heel at all, but I just don't think that Jeff Jarrett needs a little spotlight on him in 2019.
I agree.
Considering the depth of the roster on both shows and in NXT.
Like, I thought we were done with the part-timers, old people stuff.
Yeah.
But
I'm not saying I think this will lead to a long-term Jeff Jarrett program, but I don't want to see him on TV too much.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully that was just a one-off and they're done.
2 off.
Or 2 off, because of Raw. Or maybe even if it ends at Elimination Chamber, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But as long as it doesn't last till Mania, I think I'll be alright. So Rollins comes out at number 10.
He did. Number 10.
That's a good. I thought Ty Dillinger was going to come out number 10 again.
Yeah.
Which would have been funny. But
it's funny because I mentioned on the podcast that a top 10 competitor hasn't won since Randy Orton in 2009. So it's cool that they kind of answered that.
Yeah, they listen.
I guess Vince is listening to our podcast, the B Show. But I wish that Seth would have come out at 1. I don't see a reason why he shouldn't have, considering he's built up as the Iron Man character of the company, and there hasn't been a winner from the first 2 entrants in I don't know how long, probably since Mysterio, right?
Yeah,
so
probably.
It would be cool to give him that rub, but coming at number 10 is fine too.
I think it would have been too obvious.
Yeah,
maybe. That's why they didn't.
And they did the table spot with him where he went through the table.
Yeah, I wish they wouldn't have done that.
That was a very Roman Reigns type, John Cena type of story to put in the Rumble.
Yeah, I agree. But it's all right. Cena didn't come out. I really thought he was going to be there.
Yeah.
I knew it was confirmed before the show. It was confirmed before the show he wasn't going to be there, and Strowman was going to take his place. But I still thought that he was going to be there.
I'm wondering if the Lars Sullivan business is kind of derailed Cena's immediate future. Not that he's going to be removed from WrestleMania by any means, but I think that they're kind of reworking where he's going to go now. Right,
I agree. It might not be till after Mania, or maybe he'll be just put in the Battle Royal.
As long as he doesn't have the storyline of, I don't have a path to WrestleMania this year, then I'm fine. I can't do that again this year.
We'll talk about it later, but I do have a prediction for what Sammy's going to be doing. And so what else happened? Pete Dunne was a surprise entrance. Pete Dunne was in there. Aleister Black. Johnny Gargano.
He had a great show in that Rumble.
I was so happy I was hoping Gargano, because he's probably my top 3 favorites right now. I was really hoping he was going to be there, and I'm happy.
I was hoping that Ciampa would come out too.
Yeah.
If Ciampa would come out, and then he and Johnny not just like clean the Rumble out, but just like they had like a good tag team showing in the Rumble. I think that would have been a great way to build towards future NXT shows, but
it's all right.
It's okay. He had a great show.
Black looked like a legitimate threat. Eliminated Dean Ambrose.
Dean Ambrose.
Yeah. Which was pretty cool. Okay. Then.
Were there any other surprises in there?
I think that was it.
Any other NXT?
Well, Samoa Joe. Number 30, R-Truth came out.
R-Truth.
And then rapping, and then all of a sudden Nia Jax comes out of nowhere and attacks him, and then which led to Nia Jax
eliminating Mustafa Ali.
And
then eating a super kick.
619
RKO, which was hilarious.
It was awesome. I really liked it. I didn't like it at first. I think it was good though.
It told a good story with Mustafa Ali being that pure babyface that wouldn't hit a woman or wouldn't hit someone that wasn't in the match. He wouldn't do anything like that. And then for the veterans of the company to just screw that. It's because those guys knows what it means to win a Rumble or to be in that many Rumbles and not win one. To actually fight anyone that comes in. Yeah. So that was just such a cool combination to see the super kick 619 RKO.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was bizarre. I think the stare down between her and Orton was very strange.
It was.
It felt like there should be a story there, but there's not. It's just kind of just an awkward stare down.
Yeah.
But overall,
I think at that point they were trying to hint at him doing an RKO. That was that point of that, and then eventually, bam!
It was RKO, so. It was a controversial spot on Twitter and on Reddit and all that. But I think it was very worth it, and I think it's 2019. Wrestling is not real. It's not actually hitting her. It's just entertainment, and you should take it at that face value.
Get her, Triple H.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's an inside joke. Yeah, I liked it. I hope they can start doing more intergender stuff. Maybe not intergender matches yet, because I just don't know if they're there yet as a company. But I feel like more, women and men interaction. I think that would be nice to see.
Because like in the past years, it's felt like that women and men are different shows. Because they never interact, they never cross paths, they never see each other on TV. So it's nice to have them not like fighting each other, but just like having moments in the ring, getting physical, and then like being able to talk to each other like their actual, like their counterparts, and they're not like in different shows and divisions.
Exactly. Yeah. They're equal.
They're equals. They're all superstars. They're all champions. They're all wrestlers. That's what matters.
Yep. And then then we get to the end where Rollins eliminates Braun Strowman with a curb stomp to the apron, which is really cool.
Called that.
Did you call it?
Not the curb stomp to the apron, but I think I called Seth eliminating Strowman at the end.
You probably did.
Because I think it was going to be like the Big Show and Chris Benoit deal.
You probably did.
I nailed that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I liked the end. I didn't like how he was, out for
I was going to say
10 minutes, but other than
that... I liked it all except for the table spot.
I can't complain,
but I guess,
they did it.
I guess that could keep Rollins busy in the meantime. Give him a feud with Bobby Lashley. But otherwise, I love Seth winning. I loved his celebration after the match. He got really excited and he almost started crying.
Yeah, and then he cried the next night.
Cried the next night on Raw. You can tell how much it really meant to him to win that. It wasn't just with all respect to Batista and Roman Reigns, when those guys won it, it was just they expected to. And I guess that is their character. But I like when characters or when wrestlers will break character and kind of show how real it is to win this and how much it means to them. Yeah, which I love Seth doing that in that match.
Yeah, and I saw something on Reddit that Rollins should have been in that spot. I think that Rollins should have been in that spot, of the main guy.
Oh, the main guy.
The main guy. I don't think he should have been the heel.
That was my call. Back before the Shield even broke up, when I was still in high school, I thought, okay, Seth Rollins is this generation's Jeff Hardy. He's going to be the flippy, extreme, super, I don't know what to say, too much of a good guy, but just like he's like everyone supports, everyone loves what he does, and loves what he does in the ring.
Yeah, I agree.
When he was the one that turned on the Shield, I was like, really? And he had a great run with the title, with the briefcase, with all that, with J&J Security and Corporate Kane. I wouldn't trade that for anything, but I think this is long overdue for him to be the top face in the company.
I agree, and it's sad that the circumstances of Roman that had to happen.
It stinks that it had to happen that way.
Yeah, but I mean, it's here. Can't do anything about it.
Can't do anything about it, but adapt and overcome. And I think this is the best way to adapt and overcome the issues.
Well, shall we get on to Raw?
Get on to Raw.
Yeah. So the Raw opens up. We won't talk about all of Raw. Just kind of some highlights. Opened up Raw with Rollins, comes out, cuts a awesome babyface promo, starts tearing up a little bit, which made me tear up.
That was great.
That was great.
He like actually like, I don't want to say broke kayfabe, but he like kind of opened up the whole story of pointing at the sign and making that like a real thing.
Yeah, and
not just a goofy spot that every wrestler does because that's what wrestlers do. He pointed at it because it was
it's what he wanted
expected.
to do.
Yeah.
And then Triple H came out and was like, "Hey, you got to choose tonight, boy. This company, it runs. You gotta choose now."
Yeah.
And he got to tell him tonight.
Bizarre, considering there's 2 pay-per-views between now and Rumble. But
oh well.
I really like Triple H and Seth on the screen together. Even though
too.
I don't think you can have that enough. I think that if it happens every week, if they talk every week, I think that's money. Like those two have so much history between them,
chemistry,
so much chemistry, so much respect between the two of them. I think that those two are great on TV together.
I agree, and hopefully it leads to whatever Dean coming out. It led to that, and then
that was the best promo Dean's cut in years.
Yeah,
honestly.
Call him Chuckles.
Caught him Chuckles. He had that weird, like, Triple H was trying to get out of the ring, and Dean interrupted him and said, "Okay, are you sure you can't make the call right now, or is Vince making the call, or what's going on?" And that was so well done.
I was like, "Let's get the ref out here."
Yeah.
And I like it. Too bad, following this night, we got news of Dean asking for.
It was strange because they came back from commercial and Dean was still in the ring, but he was sitting in a chair, and he said he opened up saying, I forget exactly what he said, but he started in NXT X amount of years ago, and they got cut off by Nia Jax, and then he didn't finish what he was saying, and she awkwardly pushed him out of the ring in a way, and he looked annoyed but not really hurt by it.
Yeah, he was like,
it was just very, very strange the way they wrote that and the way they executed it, leading to like you said, the news that he supposedly didn't ask for his release, but he's not going to renew his contract in April when it expires at the end of April.
So I wonder what his last match.
I think it's way too convenient that it ends in April.
Yeah,
and that they released a public statement about it
everywhere.
On
They did it on Instagram. They did it on Twitter. They did it on Facebook.
And he was about to cut that weird promo before he got interrupted by Nia Jax and Triple H and all that. I'm not so sure that this isn't a work.
I just don't know if they would like.
And then even like his wife posted on Instagram like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you," and like, "The world is yours. I love you," all that. I feel like this is much more than it seems. There's a lot more than we're getting at here.
I'm curious if it is going to be a work. But like, I don't honestly, deep down, I don't think it is. They're just like, they love Dean. Like, you can tell Dean is very valued in that company, and
especially if you watched his Chronicle episode, it was very foreshadowing and very like kind of somber. Even though it was supposed to celebrate his big return to the ring, he was still kind of down in that whole show. Yeah. But again, that show is pretty kayfabe to a certain degree, so I'm not sure how much you can take seriously. And when we get to our WrestleMania predictions later in this show, I think I will discuss this further.
All right. Well, so what happened after that? Lashley beat up Finn, right? That was the next. I think that was the next.
Yeah. Was it Finn came out and talked about his?
Honestly, I was driving home from work.
Yeah, I think Finn came out like kind of limping, and he was talking about how he lost, and then Lashley interrupts, or Leo interrupts one or the other, and then they come out, and I think Finn threw hands first. He started fighting at him, and then Lashley got the best of him and took him down with his big spine buster choke slam thing that he does now. Yeah. Looked great.
I'm excited for it.
I think this is the start of a long-term program. I'm not sure if this is going to pay off tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but like next week or at the Elimination Chamber. I think this is going to go somewhere.
Yeah, he was also he was proud of himself because he made Brock believe that he was gonna win.
Which is such a consolation prize. I wouldn't even brag about that if I was Finn. Like, I'd be proud if I beat him. I wouldn't be proud if I made him believe that he could lose. Like, okay.
I mean, he's so unstoppable. You know, unless you're Roman.
It's definitely a good point to make, but I don't personally like it. I don't know.
But, you know, hopefully it does lead to something cool for Finn. If he wins the IC belt, that would be cool. It's his first championship back since, but I don't think he's going to lose it yet. It might. I don't know. Next up, we got Ronda from Ronda getting flustered. She came out, tried to cut a promo, and they were just chanting Becky, Becky, Becky.
As much as I hope Becky and Ronda is a one-on-one feud, I think they are playing with fire by doing that. Because Becky is going to get cheered no matter what. So if Ronda does not turn heel or get a manager or something or quit talking, the crowd's going to devour her.
Yep.
Every week.
They sure will.
And in that segment, she started off really flustered because the crowd was chanting Becky, correct? And then Becky eventually comes out, right?
Yeah, Becky came out and was like...
interrupted her and called her out. Said all that stuff about how she finally found a way back to Ronda. And
and then Ronda cut an awesome promo after that.
Yeah, it got to the point, I think the crowd was really, really behind Becky, and then Ronda finally blew up and said, I could kill you with my bare hands right now if I wanted to. She kind of peeled back the fourth wall a little bit, saying that you're a wrestler and I'm a fighter and I could literally kill you if I wanted to. And that, I mean, Becky still had that smirk on her face because she wouldn't take that for no reason. But I feel like that was that's a great way to paint this storyline, is to paint Ronda as the true cold-blooded fighter and Becky as like this cocky character of a wrestler. Still, I don't devalue Becky. Keep her as like the super badass Stone Cold type character, but focus on Ronda as the actual natural-born killer that she is.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. And also, before that promo, she did the match with Bayley, and I thought Bayley looked really good in that, which would probably lead to Bayley and Sasha, challenging for the tag team championships.
Bayley and Becky flashed the 4 at each other, and they made sure to point that out on Twitter and all their YouTube and all that. So I
think it's coming?
I think it's coming.
Yeah, whether that be at SummerSlam, I feel like that would be like the most logical.
Yeah, I think it will.
SummerSlam, if not SummerSlam.
I hope it's more long term than that. Personally, I hope it's like WrestleMania 36 or SummerSlam 2020.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I feel like they now, since like everything's coming out that Ronda isn't going to re-sign, they probably want to just like, get her to re-sign for at least 6 more months or not. I don't think she's even...
I think she's signed to 2020.
Yeah, like it's a multi-year, I think, but like leaving, I guess.
Yeah.
Hopefully she stays a little bit longer so they can do it, because I don't know why they would start training the other two. I don't remember their names.
One's Roderick Strong's wife, and one is the blonde.
The blonde one.
They're both very green.
Very green.
So that's partially why I want them to delay this feud and kind of postpone it until a year from now.
Yeah. I think Shayna's already she's ready.
Shayna has developed. If those two have developed as fast as Shayna did, then those two will be ready in a year or less than a year even. So
hopefully that would be exciting, especially if it does lead to the 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen match at SummerSlam or whenever.
And the Ronda Bayley match was very well done.
Ronda Bayley match was really good.
Well done. I enjoyed that.
Bayley's starting to get over more. I don't know if it's just because they were in Phoenix still.
That's true.
But I've noticed that she is getting more of a reaction.
I half expected them to chant Becky at Ronda during the match, but they actually cheered on Bayley. They chanted the Bayley song at her, and it was very, very Bayley-centric crowd.
Well done. Yeah. Well, nothing else really happened. Revival beat Zack and Kurt, but other than that,
so
Strowman.
That was something that we thought would lead to the Revival losing to Zack and Kurt, but it was just a one-off match on Raw, and they beat him, and I guess they're moving on.
All right, I guess sounds good to me.
They're gonna go towards the tag team championships. I don't know.
Yeah,
very up in the air on that.
I guess we'll find out. They have until Mania.
Yeah.
And then Strowman versus McIntyre, which led to disqualification because Baron Corbin came out and they started attacking Strowman, and then Yeah, it was just a mess, and I don't like it. I don't like how that's going.
I feel like they're booked into a corner with Strowman in a way, because he's too strong to face anybody 1-versus-1. But you can't keep putting Drew McIntyre with lackeys, with Dolph Ziggler's, and with whoever else he's with, Baron Corbin.
He needs to be his solo badass guy that I know he can be, that he was in NXT.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Braun needs to find... I'm not saying he's another like a giant versus giant feud, but he needs to kind of be nerfed a little bit so he's not as overbooked and overbooked too strong.
He needs to go to SmackDown, in my opinion.
That's true. He needs
a refresher. A refresh. He needs to feud with Mysterio
or Samoa Joe would be awesome. Randy Orton would be awesome.
Yeah,
like
AJ.
Because I still feel like there's enough top names on Raw to really take him down a peg. But if you have him against the legends of Joe and Randy and Ray and AJ, then they can feasibly compete with him, and it's not like one of those David Goliath things or like the rookie versus the veteran things.
Yeah.
It's just a regular wrestling match, which is what Braun needs, is a regular wrestling match.
I agree.
No more trash compactors or no more dumpsters or anything like that.
Flipping over. So.
No more limos. Just book him as a big bad wrestler, the same way that Kane was, kind of after the whole
unmasking.
Yeah. Even before that, after the unmasking, like in the late early 2000s when he hadn't unmasked yet, and he was just kind of, I don't want to say comedy, but he was just awesome, just a big bad monster.
My favorite. So hopefully they figure out what to do with him, and I mean, it's whatever. There's really nothing.
He's really just in a bad spot right now.
And if I was thinking, like, if he doesn't feud with Lesnar at Mania, who's he gonna feud with? Because he really
Drew,
Baron. I guess.
Braun and Nicholas versus Drew and Baron Corbin.
Yeah, and they would win.
They'd win again.
And really, and then the final thing that happened on Raw. Rollins came out. Well, first, Lesnar and Heyman came out. Heyman said some words.
Cut a great promo.
Like he always does. And then Rollins came out and started attacking Lesnar. Lesnar gave him six F5s.
Which is exactly how many it took to beat Roman Reigns last year.
Yep. So, it's chosen. It's official. Lesnar versus Rollins.
Lesnar versus Rollins.
Yeah. Yep.
Seth versus Lesnar at WrestleMania. I mean, we all kind of saw this coming. I think it can and will be a great match. It'll be a great story. I don't know exactly what they're going to do in the meantime, because there's two pay-per-views between now and then. I think they might kind of branch off with the whole Seth and Lashley thing. Maybe they'll put Seth in a chamber match of some kind. I don't know.
Maybe they'll... I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
What
excited to find out.
Yep. Excited for the future. Now we go to SmackDown, which I think was a really great episode of SmackDown.
Great episode.
Starts off with what did it start?
Becky Lynch promo.
Oh yeah, Becky Lynch promo. And then Charlotte came out, and
she made a great point of saying that she learned from Charlotte, and inserting yourself into matches you're not supposed to be and winning them is really cool, isn't it? That was a great point, I think. Despite Charlotte's, I'm not a big fan of her promo work, I loved that storytelling there.
Yeah, I think Charlotte's a much better heel, and I think that's where she's going.
I hope that this doesn't lead to her being inserted into the Ronda and Becky match, but I think this is a great move to have that kind of story in the meantime before Becky and Ronda really gets underway.
I agree. It'll be cool to see. It's cool to see what they'll do next. R-Truth
versus... Well, because R-Truth lost his spot in the Rumble, he got a guaranteed match against Shinsuke Nakamura for the U.S. Championship. The new champion, Shinsuke Nakamura, for the U.S. Championship on SmackDown. And he rolled him up. The referee counted to 3, even though Nakamura kicked out, and R-Truth was the new champion.
Yep, but cool.
Which then led to Rusev coming out for no reason. There are no automatic rematch clauses, and there's no reason that Rusev should get another match. And I don't know why he doesn't like R-Truth, but he comes out and demands a title match and calls R-Truth a bigger loser than Shinsuke and all this other stuff. And then they have a match. R-Truth, again, he rolls him up and wins, right?
Yep.
Wacky roll-up guy is now R-Truth.
Yep.
What in the world? And then Rusev and Nakamura beat down R-Truth to close that segment.
Yeah, Rusev turned heel.
Rusev and Nakamura were enemies 2 nights ago, or 2 nights before this happened. They were brutal enemies. They hated each other because Nakamura kept messing with Rusev's wife and injuring her, and Rusev was all ticked off about it. And now they're best friends.
I wouldn't say they're best friends. I think they just have a common enemy.
Yeah.
But now they're going to team up to face the Good Brothers, whenever that be.
Oh, yeah, the club next week.
Next week, yeah. Which, it's weird because...
Is this going to lead to them becoming a tag team?
That's what I'm thinking.
I sure hope not.
I hope not either, but, I mean, because SmackDown's already good with tag teams.
They got Sanity just rotting on the bench right now while they're trying to create new tag teams with The Miz and Shane and with Rusev and Nakamura and all this. We don't need those.
Yeah, we don't. We have plenty.
I'm afraid because in that backstage segment, Rusev said, "I'll tag with you this one time."
Mm-hmm. It's not going to be one
which implies, it's going to be one time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can always find a Philadelphia thing. One time. It wasn't one time.
Exactly.
That kind of thing.
Next up, Mysterio was getting ready for his match with Samoa Joe in the ring, and Andrade comes out and attacks him.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if they're going to have
like
more
$1
matches.
He had a suit on. He beat the crap out of Mysterio.
I like it.
He did the Eddie Guerrero jokes. I think that was really, really well done. And I'm excited that this feud is not going to end just yet.
Yep, and hopefully, I don't know if they're going to drag it out all the way until Mania. I don't know how they would do that, but
they just might.
They might make them a tag team, or they might just get them away from each other for a month or two or something, and then bam again. But I'm excited for it. They make magic every time they're in the ring, so we'll see how it goes. Next up, The Miz and McMahon have their celebration. His dad comes out and says, "I'm proud of you, son."
I wonder. I don't know. I mean, obviously the show is scripted, but I wonder if part of that wasn't. I wonder if they just told Miz, because Miz didn't have any actual words to say after his dad came out. I wonder if that was kind of a surprise. Because all Miz said was that his dad was supposed to be on a flight back home or out of Phoenix by then. So he sounded kind of flustered by his dad showing up.
Yeah.
I'm sure he knew there was kind of something going on there.
He just didn't know exactly.
But he didn't know exactly what was going to happen.
Maybe. It was kind of weird.
It's bizarre. This whole, like I was saying before, I don't know where this is going.
It's different.
I don't know where it can go. I don't know where it should go, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But it's really, really bizarre.
It is bizarre.
Is it going to result in Vince becoming a part of the storyline? Because Shane has daddy issues too?
Maybe.
Is Mrs. Dad going to be an on-screen character? What's Mr. Miz? What's going on?
Mr. Miz.
I have no idea what's going on here.
Me neither.
And like Corey Grace said on commentary, why are we celebrating 35 years of bad parenting? We should be punishing his dad for being
I didn't catch that.
He said that with a very good purpose of saying that.
So after that, so then they were like, well, so who we're going to face at Elimination Chamber? And so they make a four-way.
Shane books the show, so he got to decide.
Yeah, four-way. Usos, Heavy Machinery, which was nice to see. New Day, and The Bar.
Elimination match. Which is really refreshing to see something like that.
Yep, and the Heavy Machinery eliminated the New Day, which is cool to see.
Good rub.
Yeah, very good rub.
I loved seeing Otis and Big E tussle in the ring together. I thought that was really well done.
And then The Bar was eliminated.
No. No, they didn't win.
No, they didn't win. The Usos
won.
But
The Bar, I think, eliminated. No, the Usos eliminated Heavy Machinery.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah, then the Usos eliminated
The Bar.
The Bar, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. So that was cool to see.
The Bar is getting screwed over again. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, you never know. The Usos could win it back and then to be the Usos in The Bar. A New Day. Yeah. Which comes to my predictions earlier.
We'll get there.
Yeah. We'll get there. And then, after that, Daniel Bryan and his lackey.
Rowan,
which is awesome.
It's our recycling symbol, WAN. Now.
Yeah,
I love that.
I think it's awesome.
He got his old theme song back. I love that.
Yeah, it's a banger.
It just suits him so well. And I mean, he was the backwoods kind of character, and he was the Legend Brother, and now he's the vegan monster. Yeah, supposedly a vegan.
Supposedly,
he hasn't said a word yet, has he?
Nope, he hasn't said a word.
I like that.
Hopefully, just kind of helps him win.
Never much of a talker, anyways.
Yeah, never really. Then Daniel Bryan was like, this belt is representing everything that I'm not. And he was like, Daisy. This belt was Daisy.
Daisy the cow. Yeah.
And then he throws it in the trash.
I thought they did a good job of showing the value of the championship at this point, because the crowd gasped when he threw it in the trash can. It was, whoa.
Oh. So I like it. And then he reveals his new belt made of 100% hemp.
Hemp and a naturally fallen oak tree.
Which is awesome.
And rocks.
And rocks, yeah.
So I love it.
I didn't think they were going to do it.
I think that this says a lot about Daniel Bryan as champion. I think that this kind of guarantees he'll hold it a little while longer. Because this isn't like when The Miz just turned the WWE upside down and that was his logo, and he lost it like the next month after that.
Yeah.
This is like a whole new belt. So I think this could indicate that Bryan keeps it to Mania. I don't think he's going to lose it in the Chamber. I don't think he's going to lose it at Fastlane. I think he'll go all the way.
He'll hold it. He might even hold it till past Mania.
He might even, yeah.
You never know. Which it's really exciting. I know I saw it on Square Circle as soon as he became champion, basically. It was like, well, this is what they should do. And I didn't think they were ever going to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they did. And it's awesome. It adds a little bit more to his character, especially with Rowan by his side now. He has like new dimensions that I didn't think that they were going to do.
No.
And it's good because it's refreshing, and that's what we need.
I don't want this to be cowardly heel Daniel Bryan.
Hopefully
I'm afraid that's the direction that they're going in. But if it's not, I mean, he can't have anyone in there with him in the Chamber, so he better show something in the Chamber that he can win. He's going to win. I think he's going to win.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I love the pairing with Rowan. I love that he has a heater now because it's easy to cheer Daniel Bryan because he's such a lovable guy, no matter what he's saying.
Yeah. He's been a really good heel, though. He's been good at getting heat.
Good to have him with a big monster like that, too.
So then that leads to AJ Styles coming out and being like, excuse me, I'm sorry, coming out like, are you smoking whatever that belt's made out of?
Yeah. And the whole crowd popped. And then Daniel Bryan just goes, no.
And then Randy Orton came out, Jeff Hardy, then Mustafa, and
Samoa Joe spit fire.
Oh my gosh. Everyone. He was like, I'm going to attack every single one of you. I don't care.
What do you tell Jeff Hardy to sit down and listen like it's like an AA meeting where it's Joe's time to share?
Exactly.
That was hilarious.
And then they started brawling, everyone. And then
they all hitting finishes on each other, and Ryan Rowan just tiptoed out and ran away.
And AJ got on, or not AJ, Daniel Bryan got on the table and was like, like, no one's ever going to beat me. I'm the champion forever. Yada, yada, yada. And Triple H comes out on the screen and was like, hey, you're not facing any of these guys. You're facing all of them at the Elimination Chamber, which is awesome because Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Mustafa Ali, Jeff Hardy, and Samoa Joe. Like, holy
Mustafa, of course. Like,
I mean, they've really built
the whole cast is great, but Mustafa being in a world championship match this soon is really, really good for him.
And I hope it leads to more. Like, eventually,
I hope this eases the load on Jeff Hardy in the chamber match. Like, Jeff can do half the big spots now because Mustafa can do the rest of them.
Yep.
I was just telling you before we started recording. I think this can be the best, if not one of the best chamber matches of all time. Let's
talk about that next week. Why don't we talk about our favorite Elimination Chamber matches?
That's a good topic.
That's a good topic.
Let's do that.
I just thought of that.
I might spend the next week doing my homework and watching as many chamber matches.
That's what I'll do tonight since we don't have anything else to do.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So get ready for that next week.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's gonna be an awesome Elimination Chamber match. I'm really excited. But after Elimination Chamber, we get Fastlane. But after Fastlane, we get to WrestleMania 35.
We sure do.
2
months, or 2 pay-per-views
67 days away.
67 days away.
So what we thought it would be fun to talk about, we already know Lesnar versus Rollins, Becky versus Ronda. What do we think the matches, the rest of the card is going to play out? So we thought it would be fun to do early WrestleMania 35 predictions. I currently predicted 14 matches, which is insane to think about.
Okay.
You want to start off?
Do you want to kind of go back and forth and do like each championship? We each predict who's going to be in each championship match first.
Sure. I have. Hold on. Let me count how many non-championship matches I have.
Okay.
I have the 2 battle royals. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 non-title matches.
I have 3 non-title and 2 battle royals.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead. You do. Well, let's do armbar predictions.
Okay.
And then women's. We can do women's or whatever you want to do.
So for the Andre men's battle royal winner, I have Mustafa Ali.
Okay.
I think while he is in the main event scene right now on SmackDown, I think he'll kind of everybody gets lost in the shuffle come WrestleMania time, especially guys that aren't very well established. This is a way to keep him relevant, keep him as the ultimate underdog character, and give him momentum going into the new year of WWE.
I agree. Well, I have that'd be a good winner. I think it's gonna be Samoa Joe.
Okay.
I think he kind of needs it because he keeps on losing.
As much as I agree, I mean, you can finish your point, but I think Joe deserves a bigger match at WrestleMania.
I agree, but I don't think he's going to get it. Okay. That's the thing. But I mean, you never know what's gonna happen. All right, what about the women's? Who do you got?
Women's Battle Royal. I think this could go any way possible, whether it's NXT girl or someone not being used, Nikki Cross. But I think it could be the Iconics. They both win it, and they both share it, and they get really obnoxious about how they both win, and the Battle Royal is iconic and all that.
Iconic.
Because it come down to those two, and then they can just be like, okay, we win, and then that's the end of the match. Like, easy.
I have Alexa Bliss winning it.
Don't.
Yeah, but just because I know how they did it.
Right.
I know how they did it last year. We didn't think Naomi. She was like the last person I ever thought
absolutely of. Absolutely correct.
And I think since Alexa's definitely not gonna win the Rumble, or not the Rumble, I'm sorry. She's definitely not gonna be in the main event of WrestleMania. I feel like that's what they're gonna.
You can never guarantee that with her though.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
I mean, she's a face now, so why not?
She's a face. She could easily be in one of those championship matches just because.
But I mean, I think she's locked in as of now.
Okay.
All right. So what about the women's tag team match? Or the women's championship?
I think I don't want to fancy book too much here, but I could see Nia Tamina winning in the chamber, and then like open challenge on Raw or something like that, and then Lita and Trish win the belts off of them, because there's rumors that Lita and Trish are gonna be a part of that tag division. And that's the very, very, very same kind of mainstream appeal that Vince loves for WrestleMania.
Right.
So I think it'll be Lita and Trish as the defending champions against their counterparts, Bayley and Sasha, the Boston Hug connection.
So yeah, that's a good thing to have. Good prediction, because I too have Lita and Trish versus Bayley and Sasha, but I have Bayley and Sasha winning the Elimination Chamber and then just like retaining against them. But I didn't even think about that. Which that could I'd like that too. Of them winning.
I feel like they're pushing Nia too hard not to make her win this chamber match.
Now that you say that, I can definitely see what that, and then have Lita and Trish do an open challenge or something.
Or at Fastlane they do an open challenge at Fastlane, and then Lita and Trish show up. Something like that.
That'd be cool. And then Bayley and Sasha. Yeah. All right. What about the Cruiserweight match?
Cruiserweight, I couldn't guess this one, but I miss the concept of a championship scramble.
That is exactly what I have. That is funny. I have Cruiserweight scramble right here. That's
funny. I love that concept of that match. It's like an anyone can win type of deal. And you can put as many guys in there. You can do as many spots as you want, as much time as you want, as little time as you want. I think that would be the ultimate showcase for the Cruiserweights at WrestleMania.
I agree.
Especially considering, like last year, we wanted Cedric and Mustafa to get a good platform to show what they can do.
And they did.
But Buddy has had plenty of those opportunities already. So why not give everybody a chance at WrestleMania this year instead of just one or two guys?
And I was thinking they could do a ladder match for it. Okay. But I have a different.
I already have a ladder match.
I did too.
Booked, so I'm not sure I'm gonna.
I wonder if it's the same one.
I swear.
But yeah, I think who do you have winning the scramble if you do?
No idea. I just said scramble.
I feel like Buddy. I don't think he's going to lose it. I feel like he's going to get the Neville treatment of him just plowing everyone. Plowing through everyone, excuse me. Yeah. But I don't know. But you never know. He could lose it before then.
He could.
But yeah, that's funny how we have that. All right, what else we got? What about the Intercontinental Championship?
I have, like I was hinting at earlier, Lashley and Finn, I think, and Finn Balor are going to go long term. I think they could even play into Finn's injury history and have Lashley say that he either injured him this past Monday or has injured him recently, or going to injure him soon. And then you can keep Seth with Lashley feuding for the next couple months, and then Finn re-enters the scene come like WrestleMania season, and as the Demon comes out and interrupts Lashley and shows that he's not done. And this can give, like I was saying, Finn deserves a win over a big guy like Brock, but this is the next best thing, I think, is Bobby Lashley.
I think so too.
Then you can give Finn a championship finally. You can give him a good run as a mid to top guy, and you can kind of not knock back Lashley, but use him to put over a face that needs it.
Yeah. I have the exact same thing. I have Finn Balor against Lashley for the IC Championship.
All right.
Yeah, so
there's a lot that can be done with Leo and Finn as well. So
they could do a couple matches
there too.
Yeah, they could even do Finn and Leo at Fastlane.
Yeah, honestly,
and that would be a hell of a match too. Well, what about the Raw Tag Team Champions? Do you have something for that?
This was another one I couldn't guess. I just said what we're doing right now: the Revival versus the Glorious Gable team. And this could be either the Revival's swan song or the beginning of the Revival's push as top guys, official top guys, as champions.
I have a fatal 4-way because usually they do like a big. I have AOP versus Gable and Rude versus Heavy Machinery versus Revival. So those 4. So you have 2 big.
You're thinking the Heavy Machinery are on Raw?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Hopefully though. I mean, I feel like Raw needs them more than SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because they already have awesome guys, and they have Sandy just kind of chilling there.
The New Day and Heavy Machinery interacting, so I'm not sure I would like them on Raw. But
I don't know who would win.
Pick one.
Probably Revival.
Yeah,
I would like to see Revival win.
That's the best.
Yeah. So what about we'll go to the United States Championship.
Here we go. I was talking about a potential ladder match on the card.
That wasn't mine.
It's not yours?
No.
Okay. I think we were talking about how SmackDown's mid card is way too stacked.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I think they could do a U.S. title ladder match, and they can do 3 heels, 3 faces, a 6-man ladder match, and you can continue Truth, Nakamura, Rusev, throw in Jeff Hardy because it's a ladder match, and Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio, and Andrade. Sorry, Andrade, and then you have all these different guys. It's a U.S. title match, and I know they love doing so and so from Mexico is now U.S. champion. They could do that with our Truth's American. Mysterio is technically American. Almas is Mexican. Samoa Joe, you can say he's from Samoa. Nakamura, Japan. Rusev from wherever he's from. Bulgaria. Yes, that's the one.
Yes.
Jeff Hardy's American. It'd be a great kind of. I think there's too much talent on SmackDown to not do a large U.S. or U.S. title match this year.
Yeah.
They did a 3-way or a 4-way last year? 4-way?
They did a 4-way, yeah. Bobby
and
Roode,
it was
Jinder.
kind of rushed. It was kind of lame.
Yeah.
But I think that this year they could really do right by that roster.
That could even open the show, really.
It could. It could tear down the show, too.
Yeah. I just have a triple threat with Rusev, Shelton Benjamin, and Randy Orton.
Oh.
I feel like those 3 would kind of...
You keep booking Shelton.
I do. I'm hoping... I like Shelton. I've always liked Shelton as a kid. He was one of my favorites, especially...
He's so...
he's just so
old,
good.
Though.
Especially,
he's old.
He is old, but so is Orton.
So is Jeff Hardy. Yeah.
So is Jeff Hardy. So is Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
So is R-Truth.
Yeah, you're right.
So I feel like those 3 could make it a good, really nice championship match. I wish that's what I had the problem. I didn't book a huge, ladder match for everyone because I feel like they just won't do it because there's a lot of talent on SmackDown.
Well, at WrestleMania 32, they did the IC ladder match, and that was one of the best matches on the card.
It was
the best match on the card.
It was one of the worst WrestleManias.
The match was fantastic, and the outcome was fantastic.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that they could do a similar to that kind of match with the U.S. title.
What about the SmackDown Tag Team Championships?
I would love to see the Usos and New Day get time on the biggest stage of them all. I think that those 2 are money. I don't know what kind of gimmick you could give the match, if it even needs a gimmick, like Elimination Chamber, maybe something like that. Just those guys deserve the biggest show. Because, not to say that they're getting old, because they're certainly not, but they're in their prime now. Don't waste it. Give them a full WrestleMania-like program and match at the biggest show of them all.
I agree. This is the ladder match that I was thinking. I was thinking New Day, Usos, and the Bar.
Didn't it already happen at 34 or 30?
No, that was Bludgeon. Oh, 33. No, that was
because the Hardys got added to it.
It was the Hardys, Enzo and Cass, the Club, and the Bar.
Oh, okay.
It was the ladder match.
Oh, because the New Day were the hosts.
Okay. We thought they were going to be in it.
Yeah.
And the Hardys, but I feel like I forgot that was a ladder match, to be honest with you.
It was.
But I feel like they could definitely do it. New Day, Bar, and Usos, because it is 2 years later. So why not?
I almost put that too. I think it's been said before on whoever's podcast or radio show that the New Day, Bar, and Usos are this generation's Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, and the Hardys.
Exactly.
They're just 3 pure great tag teams. They can tear down the show. They can put on a great show, and that they deserve that kind of a platform to do it. Especially considering all 3 have been kind of, I don't want to say wasted, but they've been kind of tossed to the side come WrestleMania season.
Yeah.
Whether they lose to a 10-year-old kid, or they have to host the show, or they have an entrance longer than their actual match, or whatever. I think that they all 3 deserve that platform.
I agree. So, what about, I think the last... Oh, no, never mind. What about the SmackDown Women's Championship? Because I know the Raw.
Again, I don't want to get too fancy booky here, but I have Charlotte versus Asuka.
Okay.
I think in the coming months, we'll see the Charlotte versus Becky feud kind of reignite. And then I think they'll kind of keep it pretty ambiguous who the heel is in that feud, or even not even have a heel. And it'll be kind of like a winner gets Ronda type of deal, because Becky didn't technically win the Rumble because she wasn't in it technically, blah, blah, blah. And then you can have Charlotte about to win, or not about to win, but Charlotte is having a good match against Becky. Asuka interferes because she wants a rematch with Charlotte and get her win back from last year. Asuka turns full heel this time, and you have Charlotte as a face versus Asuka as a heel at WrestleMania.
That'd be good.
And I think that would tell a great story. Asuka's still mad about how Charlotte kind of derailed her career last year, wasted her Rumble win and all that, and now she's finally back on top despite Charlotte beating her last year, and now she wants to get her win back.
That'd be good storytelling. I have Asuka versus Sonya Deville.
Why are you so high on Sonya Deville?
She's just really good.
In your opinion, okay.
In my opinion, she's really good. And I know she needs to get pushed for that to happen, but I feel like they're gonna start it. I mean, it'd be a good showcase for her. She can lose. I think if they built her up right and built her up as a legitimate threat, it would be nice, especially if she puts up a fight against Asuka. She doesn't have to win. Definitely, I don't see her winning, but I feel like it could be a good feud.
Good for Sonya, bad for Asuka, in my opinion.
Really?
As much as I want to, like you said, build up more women's wrestlers, I'm not too high on Sonya, especially with Ronda on the roster.
Yeah.
I think Mandy would be better fit for that even.
Well,
Mandy is prominently on TV. She has character development. Sonya's just like her friend.
So maybe they would go with Mandy versus Asuka. Yeah, I mean, I would like that too. That. But I feel like they need to start building up because Becky's leaving. Charlotte might be leaving too.
That's true.
And all they have is Asuka. Who else do they have? Naomi? I don't want to see Naomi. I'm sorry. I just can't. I just don't want to see it. So then we'll go to the WWE Championship match.
Daniel Bryan versus John Cena.
Oh, yeah?
I don't see anywhere else for Cena to go, and I don't see him sitting out this year because he's only got a few years left, I think, as being a mainstream main competitor on the show. And now that Daniel Bryan has Rowan, I think this kind of guarantees that Cena is his challenger, because I don't think they would ever... I mean, they have, but this was a much different circumstance. Just have Daniel Bryan contend with John Cena like it's nothing, but to have him have a big manager that can toss John Cena around a little bit, and then Cena can toss around him too, I think that would be the story. There wouldn't be any bells involved. They might reference the bells, they might reference their wives, their ex-girlfriend, whatever, ex-fiance, but I think this will be the lead to John Cena's number 17 championship win at WrestleMania 35.
I have Daniel Bryan versus Mustafa Ali for the WWE Championship match.
I like that.
I like that too.
I
feel like that could I mean, that's a lot of pressure for Mustafa for only being on the main roster for 6 months.
But the story writes itself.
Yeah, it does.
It sure
and
does.
I feel like how I would book that, or how I would get to that point, is I would have Mustafa almost beat Daniel Bryan in the Elimination Chamber.
Have him like the last guy.
Have him as the last guy, almost beat him.
Maybe have like Eric Rowan.
Yeah, exactly.
Like break into the chamber and prevent him from winning.
Yep. That's how I would do it.
That'd be great.
And I feel like that would lead to Daniel Bryan and Mustafa Ali, which I kind of realize now that I do not have AJ Styles on the card.
See, I had AJ as one of my non-title feuds.
Yeah, I thought I did too, but I guess I didn't. But I kind of feel like what they're gonna do.
Since we're on the subject, I have I think AJ and Daniel Bryan will continue after the chamber, and I think Orton will cost AJ the championship match.
Yeah,
because they will not put anybody over AJ clean at this point. Right. So then they could have AJ versus Orton at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Orton's mad because they're at least probably like close to the same age, if not Orton's younger than AJ is. And Orton's mad because AJ gets pushed while Orton does nothing on the show. He's kind of forgotten about. So this could be a good way to have him back to his like legend killer status. He's trying to kill this new legend AJ Styles and take back his spot on the card.
I have.
Do you have an Orton non-title match going on?
Oh, yeah, I have him in the U.S. Championship match.
Oh, you do?
I forgot about that.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Maybe add AJ to that match. Okay. I don't know. I feel like he's more than
I feel like you're
disrespecting
AJ quite a bit.
I am, and I'm sorry.
They booked him way too strong this whole past 2 years.
I can't believe I forgot to add him to a match. But, I mean, honestly, if I see him with any match, it would definitely be with Randy, or maybe have him feud with Samoa Joe as well.
Okay.
But that would erase my Samoa Joe winning the Battle Royal. But... oh, well, if anything, I would have him and Orton go at it. I also have Cena not in the championship match. I have him facing EC3.
Okay.
I would
love that.
I would love that, too. I mean, it's EC3. I wouldn't say he was the John Cena of Impact.
No,
definitely
but
not. But he would, same kind of look.
Character.
Same kind of character.
I won't say same character.
Well,
Same style.
Same style. Definitely the same style.
He's got power. He can do big matches. His promos are incredible. And he's just a larger-than-life character that fans can either hate or love.
And I feel like he's going to be heel when he comes in.
Yeah.
I hope. And
I really hope that they don't forget about him.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
As much as I want
I don't know why he wasn't in the Rumble.
He wasn't mentioned. On Raw and SmackDown this week. They had mentioned EC3. They had mentioned Lars Sullivan, and they only mentioned Lacey Evans with the coming in at number 1 in the Rumble match. But like they had Machinery was on SmackDown, and then Nikki Cross was scheduled for next week's Raw. But other than that, they're kind of wasting. I don't want to say wasting because it's way too early to call.
Right.
But I feel like if they're going to call somebody up, they need to have something for them. They shouldn't just they're done with NXT. Here they are on Raw now.
I agree.
I think they need to have a feud lined up.
So I think Cena would be perfect. Because
Absolutely.
I mean, if they want to build EC3 up to be the next big thing,
even if he doesn't beat Cena, I think
exactly.
that could tell a great story.
Yep. So another non-title match I have, I think is obvious that we're gonna see it is Miz versus Shane McMahon.
Yeah, I have that too.
Yep, obvious.
That's like I said earlier. Either Shane promises him a title match, he loses, and then he's mad at Shane because he lost, or he doesn't get him a title shot like he expected him to. I'm not sure exactly how they can work that, but I think it.
Sorry about that. That was some technical difficulties on my end. I apologize about that. Anyways, as you were saying, Miz and Shane McMahon.
Miz will turn around somehow, some way, and probably lose to him at WrestleMania. Honestly.
Yeah, I think. You think
I think Miz is gonna lose because Shane almost always gets the win, except for the match against Undertaker.
Shane hasn't. He didn't beat AJ, and he only won because of Daniel.
That's true, but AJ I think is different than The Miz. I think he's a little different.
I don't know, because there was those rumors last year, like in November, that he was going to get a major push.
I would love it. I would. I'm not. Me, I'm the biggest Miz fan there is, but I don't think they'll have him beat Shane.
I don't know. I think he will. So, what's your last non-title match?
I have one more non-title match.
Okay.
This goes into my not believing the Dean Ambrose thing to be true.
Okay.
I think it's a work. Yeah. I think we'll see. Okay, to preface, Triple H has faced Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 32, Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 33, has not wrestled Dean Ambrose yet at WrestleMania. He wrestled him at Roadblock, End of the Line, or whatever it was.
That'd be good.
They had a fantastic match, fantastic feud. I think that they can book, they can kind of drag this supposed quitting thing onto the TV, and they can have Triple H and Dean kind of like a negotiations kind of thing segment, and then Dean says that he's so pissed because Roman gets all the opportunities. Now he's gone. Seth was gone, and he gets all the opportunities when he comes back and all that. And Dean's not gotten one opportunity yet since he's come back besides the Raw Tag Team Championships and the IC title. But again, he lost it immediately, and then that's it. Right. So he never had a World Championship opportunity since since he was on SmackDown.
Right.
So he can tell Triple H, give me a title shot, and if I beat you, give me a title shot. If I lose, I'm done. Yeah. And then have him, Triple H said, okay, you got it, but don't come crying to me when I beat you and you have to leave. And then you can have a fantastic match. Dean goes over Triple H, or you can even have Triple H get a win, and then Dean finally leaves like he wants to. And then either way, it doesn't confirm or deny the story to be true. Because then if Dean wins, then you immediately have Seth versus Dean as the top feud on Raw. And that way, it's not for the IC title, and it's not. There's no more of the stupid people. There's no more of the sickness kind of jokes like that. It's just Seth and Dean tearing it down. You can keep Dean as a heel. You can keep him as a heel for sure, but it's more Dean versus Seth for the biggest title on the show, and that would be a hot way to bring relevancy to the Universal title because Brock's done nothing for that. I don't think. I mean, it would be a big deal to beat Brock, but other than that, it's not a big deal to win the championship.
Right.
It's not a big deal to win it at all.
Right.
So and then there's no more automatic rematch clauses. There's no more of those. So Seth and Brock doesn't have to happen ever again. Seth can beat him, and then boom, the next night him and Dean can kick off and just light it up for months to come.
That'd be nice. I would believe you if it wasn't for Dane or them already posting on social media that Dean's leaving.
They never done that before.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't know. Like, if it's at work, I don't know. But maybe Triple H would be like, hey, I want this match, but that wouldn't make any sense. Being like, hey, you can stay if you beat me.
Yeah. Which is why I think it'll be Triple H like mercifully saying, if I beat you, I'm sorry. You can't change your mind if I beat you.
Oh, change your mind.
Gone.
Yeah, that would be good.
I think that'd be a great way to do it.
Okay. I have, I think Andrade for some Mysterio.
Okay.
Would be a good one. I mean, I won't talk about that too much, but
yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, self-explanatory. And Strowman for Drew McIntyre. I think that would be good as well. It gives them both something to do, which they need something to do.
They do. I probably should have said that
matches.
too.
It's just so many matches, man.
Who's Triple H can wrestle?
That's what I'm thinking. You
didn't have AJ or Triple H on your card.
I know.
I think that's very important.
Honestly, you could probably take out Cena and EC3 and add that, or you could take out Andrade and Mysterio.
AJ versus Triple H,
or AJ versus Triple H. That'd be cool.
That'd be great.
I don't know what they would do, but you could definitely do it.
Well, because Triple H is kind of a fluid character at this point. You can go on Raw and SmackDown.
Right.
So you could have the anti-authority AJ again if you have to.
I mean, even if Triple H is back, Triple H and Batista.
Yeah, well, that's a big thing. If Batista didn't come back at the Rumble, I don't think he's going to come back at all.
Maybe, yeah.
I thought that was his chance to come back and
you never know,
make a storyline, but at this point, I don't know.
We'll see. And then I think, right now we have, the confirmed ones are Lesnar, Rollins, and Becky versus Ronda, and I think Charlotte's going to be added. That's why I don't have Charlotte facing. Okay. I think Charlotte's going to be added somehow. Don't know how. Maybe she beats her at Elimination or Fastlane, and then it was like, hey, I beat Becky.
Let me get the stipulation. If she beats Becky, then she's added to the match. Yeah, you can do that.
So I think that's what they're going to do. So that's it. That's
it's a long show this week.
It's a long show. Yeah. I don't think it was as long as last week. It might be. Actually, maybe. I don't know.
Let me ask a quick question.
Sure.
For the question of the week
segment. Question of the week. Let's go.
Talking about WrestleMania season coming up. With WrestleMania season comes the Hall of Fame season. Mm-hmm. Who do you want? I'm going to say, who do you want to headline this year's Hall of Fame class? You know who I'm going to pick.
I know who you're going to pick.
I'm going to pick the CLB Christian Cage, Christian, whatever you want to call him. I think, obviously, it's kind of biased to say that he should be the headline for me, but I think he's done more than enough to constitute that with his tag team work, and he carried the ECW brand for like a year and a half to 2 years straight. He's had great promos, he had great feuds, World Championship multiple times, the amazing feud with Randy Orton, and then just every gimmick he did got over great with the crowd, from rapping at John Cena with Tyson Tomko as his bodyguard to the one more match shtick that he was doing. I think he deserves to be a headline Hall of Fame guy.
I agree. If he is not it this year, I feel like Taker should be in it. If not Taker, maybe Kane.
Okay.
Just because I don't know how much Kane is gonna like. I know he might come back for the stupid Saudi Arabia shows or whatever if he gets money, but I don't know if he's done. I would like to see him, Kane, or Undertaker, one of the two.
I'd like to see them both retire immediately. So I'm all for it.
I think Kane's ready. I think
they both should be ready.
Yeah, they should be. But I mean, Kane would be a good choice. Christian would also be a great choice.
Honestly, I could even see them putting DX as the headline because DX had their last match ever. Hopefully, last match ever against.
I could see that too.
And you can bring in X-Pac and you can bring in. I guess you can bring in Billy Gunn before he does the AEW contract, and then who else was in that? Road Dogg can all come in, and then they can induct China in that way too.
Yeah, if they do it,
that would be. I think DX could also headline. If not for the Christian bias, I think DX is the way to go this year.
I agree. I mean, Bam Bam Bigelow is a big choice, but I don't know if he would be able to headline it. Just because he's dead.
Yeah,
but, he'd be a good choice.
If Macho Man wasn't going to headline because he was dead, then
right.
then Bam Bam's not going to headline.
But yeah, so Kane would probably be my choice.
Okay. So we got Kane, DX, and Christian.
Cool.
Nice.
Sounds good to me. I mean, isn't it crazy? You know, you're 22. I'm almost 21. Mm-hmm. I've been watching since I was 3 years old, 4 years old.
This is my 9th year of watching.
And
ninth year in a row.
Yeah, and people are just, you know, that used to grew up as a kid.
Yeah.
They're retiring.
Christian was my first ever favorite, and here he goes.
Yeah.
He's been done.
He's been done for a while. Yeah. And Kane, it's crazy for me. Like I remember Kane taking off his mask. I remember all of them. You know, I remember all that time. Rey Mysterio, being a huge fan of him. You know, Triple H, all that stuff. And now they're all, you know, starting to go away. It's crazy to see.
I really like that spot. Speaking of this, in last year's Rumble, where they had Roman, Shinsuke, and Finn versus Cena, Rey, and Orton, kind of the old guard versus the new guard kind of thing. I think that says a lot about where they're at right now as a company and as the rosters are shaping up to be.
Yeah, I like it. And I like this new breed that we have.
The times are changing.
Well,
excited for the future.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it if you're still here. I mean, it's a long show, but I think we're starting to get the groove of it.
We're starting to get the groove. We appreciate you guys tuning in to the end. We're going to plug our social media again. Ethan,
yep.
Hit them.
You can follow us on Twitter at the Four Corners Podcast. Hit us up on Twitter at the Four Corners Pod. It's the number 4. It's always the number 4. And Facebook at facebook.com/Four Corners Podcast. And again, hopefully in a couple weeks you'll find us on all podcast platforms.
And we're going to be a little more interactive on Twitter. Like we said last week, this time for real. We're really going to be interactive on Twitter this time.
Yep.
We're going to post a couple questions this week, and we're going to kind of hopefully get some audience interaction.
Yeah. Thanks. I currently am the Four Corners Prediction Champion, just so you know.
Speaking of the Four Corners social media, if you have any questions, anything you want to bring up, you want us to bring up, you want us to discuss, please feel free to shoot them at us, and we'll discuss as soon as we can.
Yep. So thank you guys so much for listening. See you next week where we're going to talk about Elimination Chamber and some predictions for those, I'm sure. So thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.
See you.